It is Tuesday, the 21st of April 2026. It's 11 minutes past 7 p.m. And normally by now we have some music playing, but unfortunately, a poor person is poor and therefore can no longer afford a Spotify album, a Spotify subscription. And I don't want any commercials to be playing in the middle. So we are just gonna have to do with some delicious silence. Hope everyone has been well over the last week. It's been 6 days since I last streamed. Variety of reasons for that. Mostly because I was ill, and then because I moved stuff around, and then yesterday because stuff just kind of broke. The joys of streaming, everyone. Like, you never know what you're gonna get next. Anyway, it's been a week. Hopefully we can just do... I'm also still tired, even though I woke up late. As I was saying, I'm gonna hopefully go ahead and knock out Starforce 2, at least the main game, in the coming few days. Got a lot of long streams planned, given the fact that there is nothing after tomorrow that I need to do. So instead, we're just gonna be able to enjoy ourselves. As we go ahead and continue on with Starforce 2. Let me go ahead and grab it. See, last time it was April 19th, so it's been 5 days. I mean, technically it says April 19th because I needed to do one or two things. Because I needed to do some stuff with someone else. But no, yeah, anyway, last time around, we had a couple of shorter streams, surprisingly. With regards to Starforce over the last few weeks. Actually checked, it's been 16 days since we finished up the main game of Starforce 1. Main reason for that has been that it's been a wild few weeks, and it's only gonna get wilder. Next week is gonna be especially weird. If you're not part of the Discord, you will not know this, but we have holidays coming up on Monday. Tuesday is Final Fantasy. That's just standard, traditionally a day where we stream the patch content. Then we have the week later on for more, May 4th and May 5th, there will be no streams because of additional holidays. It's gonna be an interesting few weeks. Anyway, let's take a look at where we were last time around. This is the current list as it exists. Got the Golden Mystery away, 50 HP memories, 30 obstacles, 30 requests, 20 mega weapons, an enemy on the second row. We need a lot of illegal cards, actually, surprisingly, at some point. But that's all for the next game. We also need to roll up 2 obstacles with a snowball card. Need to get we need a card to turn 15 panels into an attack. Still don't know how I'm gonna be doing that. And we also need to rescue 30 Hertzes in battle at some point or another. But all of that doesn't matter because we are in the middle of Whazzap. I also need to do something here real fast. There you go. So last time around we met the great Budicus and we learned all about his machinations. I'm gonna make sure that everything is... Yep, there we go. Everything is working on my end. Everything seems to be working indeed. Need to check that because I had some problems with multi-streaming over the last few days. Also, the 10 talks to me. Damn it. Check it out. Something going on in the village. Let's see here. Well, you have rains. Yeah, it's pretty clear. Otherwise, this would have been washed away. Desert agriculture. How are people living in the desert? I don't think I'll ever understand it. Okay, so there's some kind of festival going on. How curious. Who knows? Feels like we might have been right in the nick of time. Hopefully we can actually do quite a bit today. Also gonna be doing a lot of side questing, but yeah, like I said, I have not been able to stream a lot, so we're gonna be doing a couple of long streams. The exception I'll make is that if it turns out that we are on the final chapter of the base game, I will move the stream to tomorrow, because I know there are a couple of people that will want to watch, or at least one person that will want to watch that can't be here today. See what might be happening. Ah, yes. Kind of figured that something was gonna happen. Something like this was gonna happen. And we have one very angry boy. And in case you've missed it, we've talked a lot, especially last week, a lot about sort of like the multiple storylines all constantly interweaving in and out of Starforce 2, trying to sort of make an argument for the black sheep of the family. But how about we first help and save Bub? It might be step number 1. And in regards to, I'm not certain if you could qualify this under media necessarily. I guess on some level, like worshipping of false gods, but yeah, it doesn't quite have the same. It doesn't quite have sort of like the same connection that Zack had with one of the with one of the BNC lines going on in the game. Anyway, what we first need to do is, well, step 1 is, one moment. There we go, and thank you. Gotta go ahead, beat, so again, I know there will be a moment where we can't beat him, but I'm not certain if right now is that moment. One thing we do know, for those of you curious about the cards, we do really at some point need to go ahead and do some new stuff with the cards, but for now, these are all of them. Got a couple of rather fascinating little cards and some brother bands as well, because that's the way that we are and the way we roll. Also, yeah, okay, streaming, gotcha. Oh, do I want to risk it? I will not risk it. Got a relatively difficult boss fight coming up, I believe. Let me make you safe. I guess on some level you could argue that the three... I guess you could argue that on some level the 3 companions that disappeared also represent 3 forms of falsehoods. As in... I mean, at this point we are genuinely way too deep. We're talking, we're like 10 beers deep into psychoanalysis of a game that does not deserve this much psychoanalysis. But you could definitely argue that if Bud is about the lies of media, we are now moving into the lies of religion, or at least the lies that we tell ourselves regarding religion. Like Zack's chapter was a lot more about the way that sort of like the back and forth of media, and how what we often see on screen isn't reality, which is something that we all sort of understand, but it's still. And this time around, it's about the front and back end of religion, which, yeah, always fun. Also, as for what are we doing here, it's amazing how dumb luck continues to operate the majority of how we get to places in this game. Also, yeah, we will indeed not change. That's kind of the entire stick here. Wait. Also, this time around there isn't even a fight. So yeah, we also once again reminded of the fact that people can even see us. This is a plot point that is never addressed in the second or from the third game onward, but also them cheeks. Also, we do have an ad break coming up momentarily, so please do enjoy them on your Twitch's end. Well, I am doing the usual of quickly reading up on the news. I don't quite know when it happens, but I did get the message just now, so we are just we are waiting for the 60 seconds to, or for the 90 seconds, my apologies, to start. Those of you new, after the 30 minutes, we will have 1.5 minutes of ads so that people can enjoy a snack, get a drink, and so that everyone gets ads at the same time. So we are currently just waiting. Which is weird, but I think in 10 seconds the ads shall begin. Hopefully. There we go. There we go. There's the ad break. So we are just casually waiting at this stage. So in the meantime, I'm just kind of reading up on the news, making sure that stuff is happening as it's happening. I don't know what I'm saying, rather. Words! They turn out to be difficult. But I do know someone that will derive great pleasure from what it is that I am seeing. And there you go. So we are just... How long has he actually been streaming? Oh, he's streaming on the RAM. Interesting. I'm seeing someone else stream, I'm like, wonder what they are doing right now. The answer is a different game altogether. How neat. There we go, and welcome back everyone. Next ad break will happen in 50 minutes. Should be long enough for us to kick his ass. It's also interesting that even though... It's also interesting that he needs to invoke it again, even though during the Zack chapter it was just like, oh yeah, you know, we just need to beat the monster of Loch Ness. Speaking of the character developments, this is the moment where Geo sort of moves into the Geo that we see in Starforce 3. So it's just like I said, without Starforce 2 you sort of don't have the character development happening. With the part being the... It's definitely the gimmick in order to get him to that point. But this is the first time that he's genuinely no longer, or that he's in a position where he has to make that choice whether or not to continue on down the road he's currently on, and he has. And without this moment, without this game, and I've said this quite a few times, Starforce 3 kind of feels weird compared to Starforce 1. So in essence, the U part to some extent is the Deus Ex Machina needed to strengthen that connection that Geo has, because it's very easy, it's very possible that he otherwise would have faltered and fallen back inward. That's sort of the thing with depression. It's a thing that a lot of people don't really talk about, or at least that a lot of people don't really want to talk about because it feels a bit weird, feels a bit whiny, but go ahead and make sure. Okay, there we go. But for a lot of people, there comes a moment where either subconsciously or not, they sort of start genuinely climbing out of the hole that they've made, or that they fall into, or where they will fall back. Like, there will be a moment during the transition where either you start making bigger leaps forward and you start sort of like climbing out, or where you have a fall backwards. And for Geo, this is that moment, because he could have very easily also been forced to watch bot, and then he would have fallen back in. And the U part being sort of like the single variable that essentially is forces him to go one way or the other. So in that regard, Starforce 2 is needed for that moment. Because the popular culture idea of depression is obviously that, like, oh well, you know, one day you're just be happy, which is what the message would be if you move from 1 to 3. But it's like, oh, Geo's all of a sudden happy after he's cured, yada yada, that kind of bullshit. Which Starforce 2 shows just is not how it works. Like, there's a more natural progression that goes on here. Anyway, say hi once again to Rogue. He is 800 HP, and I think, not sure, but let's see. Okay, we can once again. Although we are seeing for the first time. You're done for. Although we are seeing for the first time how much more difficult he is. Okay. Also, I need to get back into the groove of things. This is gonna be a fight where we're gonna be stuck on for a bit. I'm actually gonna move into... Actually, yeah, let's double try that. Double try! Zerker! This will be also, I'm just making lots of very basic mistakes here. So let's hope that I can still make it. Oh, that was 30. Zerker is surprisingly useful here. Okay. Ooh, yes.
You're done for. Here I go.
Okay, there we go. Zerka is genuinely really useful here because you can keep him busy.
You're done.
That's in one go! Alright!
Put up a fight.
That is in one go, even though I made a lot of mistakes. The power of side questing. And real life brothers, which is obviously the entire main theme of this game. And Omega is very much right here. I'm quickly getting something, quickly getting something for my stomach. Also, the first time we meet Hello. Hello, hello. So yeah, there we go. That's also that the fact that he fell twice means that he remembers who he is and where he is. I genuinely hope that he does, because otherwise it's gonna be awkward. Also, I need to very quickly do another thing. One moment. There we go. Please tell me that he's got his memory back through the age-old comic tradition of being hit on the head twice. Also, Zach, I swear to God. Good lord. Can we still have some of that, what was it, ginger beef? I just ate, but I'm already hungry again. I'm sure he is too. It's also a sign of that Luna genuinely cares, which was something that we did miss in the first game especially. Like, there was definitely a feeling that in the Luna's case, she didn't really... If she did care, she did it in her own weird way. And this is a more... Like, she genuinely does care. And we are seeing that. Like, we obviously didn't see the 2 months between the end of Star Wars 1 and the beginning of 2. But for us as the player, it's good to know that... Let me first of all save. Like, it's good to know that they still care about each other. Go ahead and... Yes, we have some ideas. Some very special ideas indeed. Oh dear. Oh dear, what's he planning? What is she I love the sheer confusion here. This is cursed. This right here is cursed. One moment. There is just... Oh, this chapter, alright. There we go. And there we go. I just had to very quickly post something because this right here is cursed. This is cursed. This is I don't want to acknowledge this existence. Yes, she should be. There we go, he's back. Only took all of her dignity. Yeah, no, no, don't. Please never. Hi, Kels, how you doing? Welcome to what is an awkward moment. I'll just send you the link of what you literally just missed. I'll send you a screenshot of literally what happened like 10 seconds before you arrived. There we go. Now you get to enjoy it as well. Please enjoy. If I have to see it, then so do you. But yeah, I hope you're having a very lovely morning so far. It's been a few days. Been about a week, actually. Like, first, my voice was gone after 10 hours of talking, and because I had my own Wednesday stream. Then I was on a special stream that night. Then I got ill. Then I finally stopped being ill, but then my body decided to start moving into a multitude of directions that all essentially ascend to... or that all collide into being tired after 10 hours of being awake. And then yesterday, OBS just crashed. So it's been a week on my end. Speaking of which, I will not be there for the special stream because I have to be up early tomorrow. And also, I think it is genuinely this time around for the best if I sit this one out, because I was very aware of the fact that a lot of people were not talking when I was in voice call. So, I will keep it at that. I mean, like, in the end, the other people in the call themselves didn't mind it, but I want to give other people a chance as well. I know how all-consuming I can be. But no, yeah. Ooh, did it? Went up by 30. Ooh. Very nice indeed. So we now have 410. Cool! Means more abilities! And yes, saving Bud's life will definitely up the link power. Exactly, there we go. Bud knows exactly what he is and isn't. So yeah, welcome to the part where we pissed off an entire village. Isn't it fun? I know it is. Yeah, once again, seeing the back and front this time around of religion, which I will not comment on. Also, can't you not technically just wave form and given... I'm still a bit confused about how time works well as Mega Man. Like, everything seems to imply that we're going real far. So can't we just quickly go 3 times and just get everyone back to Echo Ridge? That shouldn't be repeatable. Oh, nice! Playing Doom on what exactly? Calculator? Fridge? Just a normal computer? Ooh, nice. Very nice indeed. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Like, after stream, I'll still be awake for a few hours after stream, so I'll probably be...
EM wave change. Geostellar. On the air.
There we go. So I'll probably be playing some Mass Effect on my own after we're done. Like, I've sort of been playing a lot of Mass Effect and Stellaris and Dark Souls, so... Also, hello. Also, Gio, weren't you trying to not let your... I don't know, there's something that is like, oh, I don't want people to know who I am, and then he just casually goes, ah yes, I am friends with the one with the outsider, of which there are only 3 it could possibly be. Like, Gio, you are not the smartest move you've ever made. Yep. Yeah, he's not. He's not. Also, surprisingly, people like these are once again a situation where the game today is more relevant now than it was when it first came out in regards to puppets and governments and you know what? I'm not. No, no, my rules are clear. No American politics. Even though the similarities are so extreme that you would have to be an absolute moron not to see them. Yes. Yes, our left hand is indeed talking. It's just this evil monster from the depths of Hades. Oh, god damn it, dude! So the entire planet. Oh, that is... I mean, to be fair, we could argue the fact that he's eaten an entire massive stone structure. God damn it. God damn it. Yes, we are. The evil monster eats it up. It is, yes. I mean, yes, we are. We absolutely are. Eats it up. I can't today. Not with these names. It's been a week. I'd forgotten about it. This is so dumb. In order to really make it believe, to really sell the entire thing, he should probably eat all the steaks. I mean, he did literally say it, but then, you know, you continued on with... It's like, he should totally not believe it. I'm like, well, no, in the normal circumstances not, but when you go ahead and, you know, see a talking hand, your direction of what is and isn't considered normal kind of fundamentally changes. Right, good. Why are you then not at the tent? Were you just waiting? Anyway, this is as good a moment as any to go ahead and pack it up and then quickly sneak off into the desert. I mean, 3 of them will. One of them won't have to. Zach, are you legally allowed to drive? Like, are you, as in, I don't think you are legally allowed. What's the rule here exactly? Like, because it's not a real car, it technically doesn't count? Yeah, because you don't have a passport, Gio. I mean, to be fair, neither has Bud, so that will be an interesting one to explain. Well, yes, officer, he did indeed fall through the sky. And then when they get home, yes, officer, there's the second person, as you can see, that fell through the sky that we talked about. Like, there's no way they can explain this without sneaking onto a plane. Like, sometimes the game makes no sense, and yet it makes it all the better for it. Like, yeah, you know, how do we get out? Well, just materialize a car out of nowhere. Why didn't we do that before? But fair, I guess. I guess in the desert, you technically don't need a license. You might be thinking, wow, we did all of that and didn't even have a dungeon to go through?
EM wave change. Geostellar. On the air.
The answer is yes, indeed. See? There is no problems whatsoever. Although we do need to...
How's this? Go!
Oh, they're even throwing out the green carpet for my for the fact that I'm disappearing. Oh, how nice of them.
Go! Okay.
There we go.
Them into next week.
This is heat dropper 1.
EM transport. Skywave. On the air.
See? No problems at all. None whatsoever. I mean, yes, of course, Eats It Up was a fake. And there we go. And once again, Our little drama artist is back of being a lot of drama. Although I don't think it's ever really mentioned why he does this. Like, I don't think it's ever really... Not that I care too much, but it's one of the things where it's like... He's in the game so much, and yet you never learn why he does what he does. Anyway, we have ads starting in 2 minutes. Yeah, I believe it was a scout or something. So yeah. It's also a matter of, like, you can see how in the end religions and stuff like that will be casually put aside in exchange for politics. Also, yeah, I just really wish that we were there once so that we could just beat the shins in of Hyde so that we never again need to deal with him. Anyway, we can add what I can only assume is plane jacking onto the amount of crimes that Hyde is going to be responsible for. Which is always a fun one, but we will deal with that in a moment. Gonna go ahead and wait here for the ad break to go ahead and do its thing, as we are just occasionally waiting. For the ad break to end. And yeah, that is a dungeon that we are about to have, which is always fun. It is, I want to say, the last dungeon. So we are just, yeah. It's also always one of those weird things where we're just kind of waiting around, and I don't really have much to say. It's actually really interesting in regard in how, like, on the one hand you need the 90 seconds just for Twitch's end, and yet I'm also like, I don't know what I'm even able to say during those 90 seconds. Like, yeah. Anyway, that filled the 90 seconds rather nicely. There we go, welcome back everyone. Let us go ahead and return home. I'm sure nothing bad will happen whatsoever.
All right.
Also, Sinkhhood is one of my favorite attacks, just at all, just in general. Especially, I'm not certain if it is in Starforce 3, but it is, and that will actually give us a lot of overkill that we can work with.
We showed them who's number one.
Since overkill is gonna be a central mechanic of Starforce 3. Okay, trouble in the Bermuda maze.
Here we go! Got you! How's this? We
Double the
aced
lead.
that.
I guess another needle attack. Copper roulette. Let's see what we get. I'll take it.
Here we go! Take this!
Two towers fire. Luckily for us though, I believe a shortcut will be opened up soonish.
You're done for.
Thank you.
Did you really think you could beat us?
It's another needle attack. Oh, hello. Yes, please. Nothing that we need. It's also quite literally just go back home, I guess? Alright then. Okay, there we go. I also love the fact that there's already a hint as to where we're going next, due to the fact that they are like, oh yeah, there's a lot of trouble going on. Like, that is... Oh, wait, hang on.
All right.
I
Let's
know
clear
exactly
them
how
out.
to deal with this.
How's this?
Must say the controller feels a bit sticky today, but nothing too bad. Hi Digital Master, how are we doing tonight? Hope you're having a lovely day so far. I need to remember where I need to go. Oh, nice! You heard about what they're doing is for this year with CK3?
Double try! Zerker! Let's make this quick!
Good there.
Never let your guard down!
Good here. I'm personally not buying it because I have not played the game in a little over a year at this point. But, you know, I'm happy for the people that are enjoying it.
Have some of this!
Come on, I was just getting started.
Okay, it's another needle attack. Also, that is the wrong way, but it's still tennis. Good. That's good. Ah, there we go. That's where I went wrong. I was almost there, but not quite. Oh yeah, I did read that because I do still get the information. Giant bird attackers. Ah, let's add, I guess, carjacking onto the list of crimes. He's calling a friend. What I kind of liked about going onto the Crusader King subreddit is their first instinct was to compare it to EU5 for complexity, and I'm like, if we are talking real complexity, EU5 is not it. Ooh, nice. I mean, to be fair, roads are a thing in every game at this point. Let me see here. Districts, trade goods. To be honest, based on what I read, it felt more like Europa Universalis, to be honest. Like, I mean, I was laughing at, like, complexity, but it definitely felt more EU-coded than necessarily Stellaris-coded. But it's probably just a bit of everything, to be honest. Like, trade markers are pretty clearly EU5, as well as Victoria. Prosperity is EU5, settlement size is Victoria. So, in that regard, Although, like I said, I did kind of laugh when I heard them compare like to the difficulty of Europa, and I'm like, trade is not necessarily difficult on EU5, it's just tedious. Like the real complex trade systems happen in mostly in Victoria, to be honest. Like Hearts of Iron 4 has barely any trade in it. But yeah, no, I'm genuinely happy for Crusader Kings. Also, the fact that Republics are finally becoming playable is just a big deal. Yeah, exactly. Like, there was already some hinting at the fact that Religion was gonna be updated. Yeah, playable. Like, everything is playable at the end of the year. And I think that is genuinely just a good thing for on the Crusader Kings end. Like, even if there is never again another update, then I still think that by making everything playable, at the very least, you would have a solid baseline for even if you just never update the game ever again afterwards. I also like the fact that they just admitted that they couldn't, that the systems they were overhauling were so fundamental to the game that they can't really afford to do more than 2 expansions, purely for the sake of making sure that, like, at the very least it can continue existing and that it won't break every single thing, which is good. Like, at the very least they know their limits, and I do think that with All Under Heaven they did a bite of more than they could chew, especially if you look at just how many patches were needed to really make it viable. But the fact that they were like, okay, we know that what we're doing is gonna be messing with like the core systems of the game itself, so we just want to have like many months not only to make it, but also to have many months between the expansions, so that if something goes horrendously wrong, we have time to fix it. Which is I think by far the most important thing. Now, if only Hearts of Iron was using that particular tactic, but I think at this point they've just basically given up until Hearts of Iron 5 comes out. But yeah, I'm genuinely really happy for the Crusader Kings, guys. So it's interesting to see how they're gonna be doing the Ghibellines situation, because obviously we have some comparison with EU5. Which I think that's the other thing that I like about what they've showcased, is some of the late game of Crusader Kings is getting... to be honest, I think that if they even tried to touch a single thing about the code, that it would just break. Like, we've seen the Hearts of Iron 4 break in so many fascinating ways over the years. But yeah, like, I'm genuinely happy for it. Like, it's interesting to kind of seeing how they're gonna be, it's interesting that, what I wanted to say, there we go. I like the fact that Crusader Kings 3 also gets some updates to the late game. Like, so far they've mostly done a lot of just horizontal stuff. Like, there's mostly been more instead of going deeper, and the late game especially was just boring, to be honest. Especially if you weren't constantly warring or you tried to stay small. Like, it was like, oh yeah, you often spend 20 years doing nothing because you're just waiting on the next technology to unlock so that you can do more building. Like, playing Tal in Crusader Kings is relatively boring at times. At least it was before, when I still played it. So I'm kind of hoping that by now focusing on the late game and the mid game, they can help with that. Also, once again, small reminder, buddy, you were the one that started worshipping God, even though we said he wasn't a real god. So yeah, the secret dungeon that was always going to happen has happened after all. The Whazzap mines, thank you. Welcome to the hide and seek portion of today's stream. Which is to say, to be honest, none of the dungeons are that bad in Starforce 2, but once again we're saying that with the knowledge that we have the enemy encounter rate on low. Under normal circumstances, this is genuinely the worst dungeon under normal circumstances. Simply due to the enemy encounter rate. Well, let's head to the ruins, that makes sense. Run away from the pest, stolen the pet bird game. Okay, all the flame huts to their pedestals. Yes! Hide inside the ruins up to use the staircase to go in. Yeah. Yeah, I did indeed. Good lord. I think the Crusade... I mean, I don't want to say this because it makes me seem weird, but I feel like the Crusader Kings community is by far the most grumbly about all the paradox communities. Like, they are I feel the quickest with assuming that it's bad. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Crusader Kings is so full of exploits that at some point I'm also like, maybe the community kinda got used to that. Try to escape and go back to where you first started. Okay. Upper left. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, see this over here? That's a bird. This right here, this is a bird. We need to stay away from him because he will eat us. And all we need to do is somehow make our way through this area right here. You know? We only have 4 pedestals that we need. Don't worry about it. First things first though, let's grab the blue gem. Now, I should mention we do have the ability to run on, which also makes this dungeon a lot easier. Ooh, hang on. Wait, where's the panel? What does... remind me. When firing Buster on the panel, attack... To be honest, that is a lot better than the times 10 that we currently have. But yeah, the way that this dungeon will work is that we will get a screech first to signify that we have limited time, and a few seconds later the bird will attack.
All right.
Goodbye.
Take this.
Go, use the shield.
You're done for.
Okay.
You know,
Never let your guard down.
I mean, not really. I don't stream any local elections, to be perfectly honest. Like, I didn't stream the local elections for my own country last month, and the reason for that is... Let's just wait on the bird. The reason for that is... Let's not actually wait on the bird. East of is the east pedestal. Alright. Okay, now the bird is active. But the answer is no. I didn't stream it for my own country, and I won't stream it for the UK either. So the only elections that I stream are ones that I think are both interesting and also I have knowledge of. More importantly, especially with regards to local elections, just in general, irrespective of the country, like when I stream the national election cycles, it's because they have some influence, right? Like there's an influence on the wider world. But more importantly, often I can, even if I don't live in the country, I can often find information about sort of what are the big issues, what are the big things. If it's in if it's in Dutch or in English, I can watch the debates. I can write along. I can sort of like check for stuff, and otherwise I can find transcripts. But with local elections, like to give you an example of my own country, we had 300 local elections last month. Like these were all genuinely local. Like the problems were purely local, and I just physically cannot watch 300 debates. Like if I were to do one debate per county, that would be 300 debates that I would need to watch. And in that case, I would be watching only one, and I wouldn't even be focused on my own county. So that's just not doable in order to have some level of knowledge that I can even be relevant about. And the other thing is that local elections often have a... So like it's constantly moves with national stuff and with provincial stuff or with state stuff. So if you don't have that sort of like baseline knowledge of that interplay, it becomes impossible to really say anything about it, because in the case of my country, there was nothing I could have said about the local elections because of the fact that they were, well, local, and they all local things determined them. So I couldn't say anything about the national level. I think that's sort of like the main thing. Yeah, I did read that. I know that there's some interesting stuff happening with the Greens and with Reform. But like I said, the main problem is I just don't have that baseline knowledge that you need in order to be able... Like, I would essentially be an outsider trying to say stuff.
Ready, Mega? Okay. Take this.
And to be honest, whatever I can say would probably pale in comparison to what people can say that are actually local. Like, I think that's sort of like the main thing. Although with the way that our government is going, we might get another election this year. So we might get another Dutch election. Exactly. I know that they won the recent by-election. So I know that the Greens won the recent by-elections, which was really interesting. And I believe it was like, it wasn't Grimsby, right? No, it wasn't Grimsby, I know that much. So it's gonna be interesting, and I believe it's local elections everywhere, right? Like, if I'm correct about this, it's in England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. Like, every county has elections, I think. Okay, north. Oh dear. But see, it's stuff like that. Like, the fact that I can't really know that sort of makes me not really quite qualified to talk about it. Okay, where's the last one? He's over there. Wrong path. Oh, one moment. Yeah, for some reason, out of all the things, three-way was the one that was, for some reason. You know what? I don't know why it happened, but it was genuinely funny.
Double try! Saurian!
And that's the thing, right?
No
It's
time
like
for slack.
Britain obviously will be determined by a lot of local issues, and I wouldn't be able to tell you what the local issues are in any of the counties. Like, that's just kind of the main problem here. So I do apologize for that.
Good.
But ooh, hang on. That is a first barrier 30. Oh yes. Oh yes. I could in theory grab some more HP plus 50s, but I know that we're very soon hitting a point where we're gonna be losing a bunch of... And that's White Meteor. That's another one. What I will say though is it seems that we might be hitting new elections with the way that our own government is going. So I hope not, but it's entirely possible that we'll be back to the polls before the year is over. But I'll talk about that more during a politics stream, which will happen after we are done with all the Starforce streams. And that's sort of the interesting thing there, and I will absolutely be watching it. He's fast. One moment. So I will definitely be watching it, but yeah, not much I will be able to say. Because I know that it's entirely possible that I know that Sinn Féin already is the biggest in Ireland. Okay, do we... Oh, Lord. Let me see here. Okay, we only have... Like, I know that... Who was it again? Plaid Cymru could become the biggest in... One moment. I want to say stuff, but I kind of need to focus here for a bit. I know the Plaid Cymru could become the biggest in Wales, and that the SNP could stay the biggest in Scotland. So there is one of the other... I know that sort of like one of the other conversations is that all three constituent countries could be ruled by separatist parties. Run past here, then to here, then to there. Oh, Jesus!
Show 'em what
Have
you've got,
mercy on me!
How's this?
No, you don't. You didn't. Interesting. I've got quite a few Scottish friends actually. So, or at least I got at least one other Scottish friend. But yeah, it's you abandoned. That explains it. You're not the first. You're not the first refugee. Hang on, what does the achievement demand? I need to check something. Stage sweeper. I have a dumb idea. We do need to get a bit lucky with our cards,
Take this!
but we might be able to get the sweeper
Have some
going.
of this. We aced that!
Yeah, I've got another friend that is also run. to Scotland. Okay, good. One of them north, which is right there. Oh, great! That's actually where I want to go for the other blue. And yes, I will gladly take the HP plus 20. I have a dumb idea. I have a really dumb idea. If this works... do need to get you out of the way though. Oh, oops. Okay, we need to get you out of the way. Thank you. Now... hang on, we can still do this. What happens if... Could you please go here, sir? No! Okay, it doesn't work. So it does need to be... How are we going to do that?
I hope I can get even stronger.
15 in one attack. Might not even be doable before Starforce 3. Okay, south. Thank you. Oh, before we do anything... Okay. Take the run. Oh dear. Okay. Okay. Run time. Also adds in 30 seconds. Okay, north. Good. We will continue this dungeon during the ad break because oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. How are we going to do like 15 in?
Let's do this. Got you. Have some of this.
Like, is it maybe one of the carpet guys that like...
That's what you get for underestimating me.
I'm genuinely unsure as to how to get the achievement in that case. Twin. Oh no, I had forgotten. No, I had forgotten about this. We need to do a double one. Okay, where's the bottle? Oh. Okay, there we go. And Transfam Pet Springs, thank you very much for the follow. Do enjoy your emotes. In the meantime, I am... Okay, so we need to... I'm taking a moment here. Okay, go in here. Then hope we aren't attacked. I'm so desperately hoping that I'm not gonna be attacked.
Double try. Zerker.
Bring it on.
First things first.
How's this?
You, please not hit me. There we go, welcome back from the ad break.
Take this.
Super barrier. Once again, Transfam Pet Springs, thank you for the follow. Do enjoy your emotes. Hope you're having a very lovely day so far.
Here I go.
Come back.
But yeah, like I said, Jickle, I am good to hear that you are having a good time in Scotland. Okay, go into the ruins, wait out for the bird, and then run. Oh, good to hear. Oh, God, we were blessed by Orange Jesus. He didn't attack. Thank God. Oh, that is... For some reason, this is genuinely terrifying whenever I have to do this dungeon. And yeah, it's my favorite series as well. So genuinely, it's been a genuinely great experience. Well, I do have to admit that I'm biased towards solo and rogue. Given that my channel's banner has the Moo logo in it. But if we ignore that for a moment... I mean, like, there are a couple of characters that I do enjoy, but I'll be honest, and this is a story that you've probably heard before, I identify a lot with Geo, just personally. So, in that regard, he is my favorite character, which is a bit of a cop-out answer. But I don't know, I played this game for the first time when I was depressed myself, so I felt really seen by the game and by Geo especially. So in that regard, like if I go for the answer that you sort of expect, it would be Rogue, because that's the channel title. That's where a lot of the inspiration for the banners and stuff came from. But otherwise, it is Geo, because that's the one I connect. That's the character I connect with the most. I'm kind of curious about what your favorite character is in that case. Okay. Yeah, I think, I mean, personally, I think it has to be Luna. Like, clearly it's Luna. But no, yeah, I think I have a solid idea on who it is. In the meantime, quickly checking. I think we want to grab the furthest away. I think what we want to do is start off down here, because he's the... Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. We think we want to start off here, then grab him. Then we take hide in the ruins, grab the final character, hide in the ruins twice, and then go down. Okay. Oh, hang on, did I go the wrong... Don't tell me I went the wrong direction.
Let's make this quick.
You're done for.
Last thing I currently need is not accidentally run into the wrong... I just spent all this time checking. But yeah, we're gonna be streaming the games until we reach 100%. Obviously not all in one go, but it is, with the exception of next week, all Starforce all the time on the channel until we have 100% of the collection. I indeed went the wrong way. Okay, first things first. I could possibly screw myself over, but I'm hoping not.
Let's do this.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Alright. Have a good one, dude. Yeah, I can totally see why Patrick would be... I'm playing on Steam.
Take this.
Wasn't even a contest.
Plus 200. Yeah, no, I think I will wait until the bird does a swing. Come on, buddy. Do your thing. I wouldn't be able to tell you, to be perfectly honest. I genuinely would not be able to tell you if it is. I don't do PvP at the moment. So, unfortunately...
Here we go.
I wish I could tell you.
How's this? How's this?
Double tribe this. I can, especially because Xbox is probably the place with the least amount of players. Like I can totally imagine that Xbox, especially, sort of like it's. That's nothing against Xbox, as you mentioned that, but it's more so like just an acknowledgement of the fact that Starforce is obviously a Nintendo property first and foremost. And a lot of people that grew up with Starforce already have a Steam account, so those two are probably the most active. If I had to make a guess, like I don't have any numbers whatsoever. There we go. Yeah, that's a real shame. That's a genuine shame because Starforce has a fun enough battle system that PvP matches can be really a lot of fun. Anyway, we have. Hang on, let me have. Do I have an item? I do. Scrap large energy. Let's go ahead and clip the wings of Condor, shall we? And now a line that apparently was not in fact sanitized. I'm just letting this sit here for a moment. I should mention, people did go through the Japanese through the Japanese text to see if this was maybe sanitized. It is not. This is what it's also on Xbox, and I feel a need to share my pain with the world for it. So give me one moment. Yes, it does. Yes, you would be 100% correct about that. And I'm gonna share this on Blue Sky. If I have to suffer through this, then so will the people that watch me on there. There we go. Also like the fact that they had a specific sound effect purely for the laughing of the mechanical condor. Okay, no, scrap that. This is the worst that I've seen today. This is the worst that I have seen today. One moment. This is officially the worst thing I've seen today. I need one moment. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's a line right there. Anyway, just gives me more reason to beat Condor in one go. 。 . 。  . 。 . 。 . 。 . . 。 . 。 . . . 。 . . . . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。
「
And I think that that's the important bit here. Anyway, say hello to Terra Condor with 1400 HP, by far the most difficult enemy we fought so far. You might immediately notice something about the battlefield. If you've played Andromeda, or if you've beaten Starforce 1, you will have seen this before with Andromeda. And before I say anything, I will first go ahead and make sure that I'm correct about this. Yeah, so the paneling does still exist, so you can still use cards that require panels, but they are not considered normal panels. Also,
Have some of this. Okay.
so for the sake of... Ooh, yes. Also, as you can see, you can actually, and that is actually really fun, you can destroy his... Hello? What are you? Fun. But yeah, you can actually destroy his lasers.
Okay.
As you can see here, he is weak to fire. Not that that's helping me a whole lot at the moment.
Got you.
Oh, oops, there we go. Let's do a roulette as well. Now I'm very looking at this. No, it's kind of sad actually. There's no achievement for beating him. There we go. Never mind. There. I kind of said there's no achievement for beating him with. It would be an interesting challenge to do it without actually ruining all of his wings.
Here I go. How's this?
There we go.
You're done for.
Got you.
Go. Buster Max will be especially useful once we have 100. Or once we have 5. Oh, that's too early. It still destroys them.
Have some of this.
And there we go, the Terra Condor done, down in 1. Right there. As per usual, we do not get the Mega card yet. We will need to beat him at some point. I want to say in somewhere, but at some point here in the Whazzap ruins. And we will need to do that anyway if we want to 100% the game, because we, in order for the achievements, we are gonna need all small, medium, and Giga cards. Yeah, so you get the backstory here, which is one that's, given my own studies, one that I've heard a lot over the years. Which is essentially the rat race of nations. You know, in the end, it on some level is understandable. You know, this feeling that those that are already at the front just continue running faster and faster. And there is and it's Starforce is not equipped to deal with that particular discussion, but there's definitely a discussion about inequality between nations. And sort of the effects that that has on the population itself. Like, not even like as in, sort of like in the country itself, but sort of like how people act given their country's place in sort of like the rank order of nation. Of a nation, sort of like the ranking of nations, whatnot. And the way that people sort of respond as a result to where their country is and how they act, how countries act as they continuously go down or up on that ranking that exists, unfortunately. And if you're seeing this here, like, isn't it a bit of a weird idea? Not to have like focus on food? Not really. Argentinian beef is renowned around the world. Same with Japanese Wagyu beef. American hamburgers are another good example, and to be honest, Texas in and of itself has a variety of variety of foods that just would make it worthwhile to travel there in the first place. Like, nations and places can absolutely be focused purely on, you know, something that people eat. Like Japanese sushi, German sausages, British fish and chips. Famous around the world. And while they won't act as a catalyst in itself, it can be a first wave catalyst. And what I mean with that is that what you will find is that the first people to go to a country might do so specifically for the food. And those sort of like first wave tourists see the authenticity of the place, see the place itself. They will come back to their own countries, they make media about it, which then leads to a second wave, which is more about the country itself. Like, now that sort of like the first people have seen the country, it can start attracting people that are less interested in purely the food, but might want something that's unique. And I think that there's definitely something there to be talked about. On the way that sort of like you can use it in order to get people interested in the country itself, because they will spend time doing more than just eating. They will make content about it, they will write about it, and then the next wave of people come who are more interested in the culture. And depending on some countries stay in that second wave. Japan is surprisingly a country, despite all the tourism that is in that second wave, sort of like idea where people come from the culture itself and purely the culture, because it's just so far away from Western Europe. But at some point that might move over into just pure unadulterated mass tourism, where people don't even come anymore purely for the culture or the nature, but just because everyone else is going. So there's definitely something to be said there about that stuff. Yeah, there we go. We managed to go ahead and deal with Whazzap and the Great Burgas. See, there we go. Which in this case, indeed, the need for food allows people to just ask other questions. Something like that. The great Budicus, truly a most amazing person. May one be blessed with food forever in his name. I was kind of imagining Solo just between missions, just sitting in the Undimension. There we go. Now I remember. Now the next time round's the wait for 3 rounds fight. I do have some theories about the indie proof, but I'll wait with them until the next stream. But yeah, welcome to the, I think it's the second to last chapter actually of the game. Oh dear. Ooh, Sonia might have been found. That's some good news. Let's see here. Shelf. Take a look. I think that is the next newsletter, indeed. Oops, my bad. Command modify sequence. Where you put it by pressing left or right. There you go. That is your also indeed sign that we are getting into the end game slowly. Now that there are no more net battle newsletters. Alright. Okay, can we do that right now? Please tell me we can. God damn it, game! Please, let me just finish this! That's all I ask of you! To be fair, I could have done it beforehand, but... Also, how can you skip? What is your normal meal, bud? Genuinely, what is your normal meal? And there's also some serious foreshadowing for Starforce 3 going on here. Mysterious plane accidents. Ah, yes. Tom, who's on location. Hello, Tom. Please tell me that's not the same guy from the exhibition. I would genuinely feel for him if it was. Like, at that point, the universe is just out to get him. Some young girl wearing pink clothes and just floating in the air. Yep, that's Sunny, alright. Well, I don't know. Indeed it is. Also, we have an outbreak in 10 seconds. Please enjoy your ads. And there we go, we are back. A bit earlier than in 5 minutes, but... Pretty, I mean, pretty is subjective, Zach. From the pilot. Oh, alright. And yeah, because there isn't really an area to go to for this chapter, we're more so going to areas we've already been in. Which does give us some downtime. And the ability for me to realize my mess up.
EM wave change. Geostellar. On the air.
Rather my fuck up, to be honest, because I think I know what I needed to use one of the things for. That's the case. We need to make a quick run. Small energy, don't need that. There we go, there's your deluxe LED baddie. There we go, we can do some side questing while we are doing all of this. Hey! And we got an HP memory plus 20, thank you. Let's see, you need something else as well.
EM wave change. Geostellar. On the air.
I also feel like my Xbox controller is starting to break, which is not a great sign. Ooh. Propellic reports. Ooh. Let's go and help him. So let's go and take a look at the doghouse. I think we've already been here, but it's been quite a few streams. The answer is yes. Alright. Let's go ahead and ask for his help, because that's what we need to do first. Loch Ness. To another country. Alright, well, we needed to go to Loch Ness anyway.
EM wave change. Geostellar. On the air.
Well, since we need to go there anyway, might as well, right? Go, Captain. Also going the wrong way. Because I love running for more than I need to.
EM transport. Skywave. On the air.
Okay. Oh, we need to go back. I always lose my way here. Like, compared to the Astro Wave, there's not a lot of identifying marks. So as a result,
Let's make this quick.
it is more difficult to remember which way I need to go.
That's what you get for underestimating me.
Like, ooh, firing 2. Do we already have that? Not sure. Alright, let's go and get towards Loch Ness, which is... I don't remember. This way. Also, since we are all but done here for now, we can just go and skip the battles. First up, there we go, there's our RC copter.
No time for slacking, kid.
Yeah, I might as well go to Lochmas first. That way, you know, we're already in the area. Okay, let's just run. Thank you for the super RC. East of Whazzap, which is still the entire planet. So yeah, Sonya's temporarily working with the bad guys. Yay! Because at this point we can add, not kidnapping necessarily to the mix, but it's definitely a crime they committed. I'm sure it is. It has to be. Blackmail, that's it. That's the word I was looking for. Blackmail. Alright. So nobody is able to find the pilot. This is a good moment. Okay, that makes one. Are you the pilot by any chance? Tailspin! Yes, you must be the pilot. Don't worry, we believe you. We need to find the black box. It's probably stuck at the bottom of the... Let me see that it makes... Makes 3. I'm going to ignore what it is that I'm seeing that you guys can't see. Mostly for my own sanity. Curious minds wish to know what it is that's being hidden down this route. Inquiring minds demand an answer. Roulette. Thank you. Into a double delete. Ooh, flicker kick. I don't think we had that one yet. We did not. No. Giant waiting to surprise you. In Woodgen. Well. Something in Woe. Thank you. got white meat here. Thank you. We have airs. Yes. I will take air spray. We have 400 zennies. Okay, nice.
Better prepare yourself.
Might as well go and do this, since it's only requires this one attack and some change.
All according to plan.
Can't wave 2. We already have. There we go. Doing all of the Loch Ness stuff, doing all of the stuff just in general is gonna be not fun. Hello, who are you, good sir? Kung Fu Kids. Messy scope, you don't mind like that much. Okay. Well, we can always do that. Depends. Where would that be? Puns. Hello, Copper. There's something strange, yes. What's it that meets the eye? I agree. It's for... Currently counting the amount of side quests that we currently have to deal with here.
EM wave change. Geostellar. On the air.
Now the question of finding the black box. Which I assume is gonna be... somewhere. In the meantime, we can finally take a look at what's down here. Cute. It's... mystery waves. Seriously? Nothing else here? Guess not.
Here they come.
Let's go to play PTGT. We're using Lemu. I love that it says 200, and in reality it's at a minimum 400 to 600. Ooh. Yep, we didn't have chamber blow yet. Or at least not the second version. Got to use double, because we are dealing with water stuff.
Double try. Zerker. Let's do this. Okay. Okay, here I go.
There we go, thank you.
Take this.
Moment. There we go. Need to do something real fast.
Take this.
Thank you once more. Just get some more zennies, which we will still need. Yep, thank you. So we're gonna go back into the water to two areas we have worked in before. So given it's at the bottom of the lake, I would assume... Ooh, wait, hang on. Pirate ship has... Ooh, we can track that. There's another box here. Before we do the obvious package... Got a large energy card.
You better prepare yourself.
How's this? Okay.
Into longsword.
Did you really think you could beat us?
This is more zennies. Got 1800 of them. And now let's deal with mystery package.
I'm ready to fight.
I wonder what could be in it. It will probably be more viruses. If the other packages are something to go by.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
That's what you get for underestimating me.
Golden save, just to be sure. Yeah, we got Piranha, Bubba Dancer, and the Dark Reaper. Oh,
All right. Here I go. Got you.
yeah, this is a more chaotic kind of fight.
You're done for.
Have some of this.
Can't exactly run away here.
You're done for.
Okay, that's one of them done. Then into Taurus Fire, which I'm very happy that enemies don't take half damage. Ah, that would have been genuinely awful if enemies would take half damage. Go.
Go.
Come here, buddy, come on.
Goodbye.
And that's that
That
done.
was great.
September. Okay, let's see here, September. My son Patch nagged me into finally getting him a pet. I was planning to wait until he was a little older, but my wife Mail said he was ready for it, so I bought him one. He named the NetNav he installed Mega Man Jr. Oh. Its programming is taken from the best parts of 9 Navi Mega Man and Mail's Navi role. Patch was ecstatic. He's determined to be the greatest net battler in the world. I wonder what he'll grow up to be. That's the greatest thing I have to look forward to as a father. Aww. Oh, man actually has become responsible in the intervening years. Kinda breaks my heart knowing that in the end it wasn't meant to be. Okay, so we can actually fight Plesiosaur, which we will need to do anyway. Also, why did I do that? We're in the water.
Double tribe! Saurian! I won't lose!
You're done for.
Okay!
Like, why did I do that? We might as well go and do that immediately. That way we don't have to deal with it later down the line. There we go.
Come on, I was just getting started.
Gives us like a slash. Indie Fragment 5. Okay. Go. Well, let's first of all deal with Plesiosaur. Because we want to fight him, let's grab a large energy and a small energy. Got 2 of the 6 indie proofs. Twisting first, back with a vengeance. At 1600, it's Plesiosaur.
Here they come. Goodbye.
Got you!
And yeah, he's a lot more dangerous than he used to be. But that's why we saved beforehand.
How's this?
I do, thank you. Okay, yes. Oh, yes, we do want double tribe up on Zerker. Since...
Double tribe! Zerker!
Thank you.
Have some of this!
Because Plesiosaur is water, so getting electricity up and running is very useful.
Have some of this! Got you!
That sucks, because that would have been an easy 400. Because I think Ophinia goes straight through. No.
Go!
I had forgotten about that. Route into... That's not the worst thing it could have routed into. Okay.
You're done for.
Okay, at least managed to grab that. Okay, thank you for the recover 80. spreader. There we go. Into beating up Glacial Surf.
Next week.
Which gives us a bunch of zennies, because unfortunately we weren't fast enough. But the important thing is that Glacial Surf EX is now unlocked for us. As for in the post game. Got float shoes. In theory, this should be. Hang on, the bottom of the lake is. Oh, there we go. Found the black box. Okay, never mind. I don't need to actually dig for it. That is very useful. Just go and skim through here. Good, that means we can pulse up. Give it the black box. Everyone is happy. Ads in 1 minute. Less happy. Kung Fu Kid, where actually is he going to be? I'm sure he's somewhere. Ah, there we go. There he is. Okay. Okay. In theory, we can do that. Need a projector to play the data. I don't know. What I do know is we have an ad break coming up, so please do enjoy it. Gives me a moment to quickly save. Just go ahead, and in the meantime, just going to be reading some stuff. Okay, there we go. Just reading up on some stuff. But yeah, as for the next question of where to find the projector, I might actually wait with the additional bosses until the post game. There we go. Welcome back, everyone. Managed to get the projector, and now we need to find a way to deal with it. This will be okay. Okay. Oh, he's the brother that Zack made. Oh, that's cute. Indeed, you can. Let's go to materialize the projector for the poor guy. Oh, he looks cute. Yes, please do. Please do show me what it is that was being projected. Yep, there we go. There is the evidence that we need. The sun, yeah, if only. Oh, trust me, it proves everything that we need. I mean, to be fair, you're the one to take you back. The Bermuda maze, yes. Instruments go out. The Bermuda maze actually does have a normal, at least in our own world, has a normal explanation. In that it's, no, it has a natural explanation in that the buoyancy is due to, I think it's active, sort of like methane bubbles. The buoyancy of ships can all of a sudden change, which ships are not prepared for. Which then causes them to disappear into the waves, which leads to the disappearing ships argument. Like, it's not really that they... I mean, they did technically disappear, but not in the way that we normally think about. Sort of a reminder that we barely understand one of the most important liquids on the planet, and the most abundant liquid on the planet. Alright, we need to go ahead and grab this. No. Come on. Let's go ahead and... Thank you. There we go. We are done here. Okay, the Bermuda maze, the door is broken. Like it's been broken once before. Interesting. Poor guy! Oh, I kind of feel for the poor guy. It's the M maze. Ooh. And immediately... Yeah, this is why I didn't do anything with the link power that we got. And Sonya is essentially doing what Geo did multiple times over the course of the last game and this game as well. Once again, though, it's an important moment of character development in which Geo is for the first time on the other side of this argument. Once again, we're seeing that every chapter in some way still... at least still somehow and further develops Geo's character arc. It's not in the same grand way that Starforce 1 did, but Geo is essentially slowly but steadily moving to the other side of the argument constantly. Like before, it was always other people trying to cheer Geo up, other people looking for him, other people trying to force him in the outside, and now over the course of this game he slowly, almost imperceptibly walked to the point where he's now doing it to other people. So it is in that regard still very useful to play. I've said this so many times. And I'm not saying that this because I'm angry, but because I'm for some reason constantly repeating myself. This is why Starforce 2 is so useful and important to play, because otherwise you get Geo on one extreme to Geo on the other. So yeah. It's also the first time that someone deliberately broke a bond with him, instead of him breaking a bond with others. Oh no, hi, no! We've beaten your ass 3 times already. Twice already, my bad. Why do you insist on constantly forcing yourself into the story of other people? At least someone is writing a new script. That's a good thing. Yeah, at the very least we can read mails in our own time. Why does it feel so they're checking on me again. Why does that feel so familiar? Also, you're asking a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, my apologies, to clean up their room. Here. How about we go ahead and sneak out again? Well, where we're first going is finish up a side quest. Got a propellic report. Which gives us... okay, good. Something, there we go. And that gives us... Silver Meteor. 60! We are so close to being halfway with all the cards in the entire game. Or in the 3 games. I say we take the bus to somewhere, anywhere. I will say, I've gotten some new blinders in my in front of my windows, and it feels weird. Like the light is fundamentally different now as a result, especially when it's dark. Anyway, how about we go ahead and can we do some side questing here? Are there any side quests to be done here? Let's find out. Also, yes, Yo, you're absolutely... Yes, I still cannot stand sweets. Which is an in-joke between me and the Swede. Who's currently not here because he's asleep. Oh, hang on, do we have more than 400 link power at the moment? Let me check. No. I can still check though.
Geostellar, on the air.
Ooh, Mega Reader card data. Mega card reading. Pit of the... Oh dear. Oh dear, it's the pit of despair. Let's go ahead and fulfill the prophecy, shall we? Hello. Yeah, I can see why she's having the plus 10 in that case. Mother Hills, a fortune teller. Mrs. Hills. Ooh. So bush with Sony of Vita D. Oh. It also is in some way it is very relevant that it is Sony that in the end destroys the brother band. Because it was Geo's first brother band. And the one that got him out of his shell. So it is on that front. Oh no. Hide. Oh, never mind. It's not hide. Hello. Yeah, I was wondering if we would see more ghosts. We don't. No, instead we get knights. Alright then. That does not look good. In the slightest. I kinda love the fact that he's still under the relatively false assumption that wherever people are hurt, he comes, but it's just what can best be described as dumb luck. Oh dear. Take him down. Mega, this is what they call a trap. I mean, we can't fight like this, but hey.
EM wave change.
Does that really matter?
On the air.
I say grab a rock and try and hit the knight with it. Oh well. Let's go ahead and deal with them for the second time around. We have Murray in yellow and Murray in purple.
Let's do this.
Which unfortunately means that Zinc Hook will not work on them.
How's this?
You're done for.
You know what? I'll take that. But yeah, they are the kind of enemy that you really need to learn how to counter for.
Have some of this. Have some of this.
There we go. Just taking our time with this.
Here I go.
Okay, and let's grab these. He's standing on fire, that's his problem.
That's what you get for underestimating me.
There we go, that's the first one done. Let me quickly grab some water. As we move into the second one. And we can, don't worry, we can wave change out as needed.
Aha! Bring
Have some of this.
So we can very much heal if we need to. Also, I probably shouldn't surprise you to learn that the different colors represent different weaknesses.
Here I go.
That is something to keep in mind. That's to say, the idea here is that I would not in fact be hit, but
come back.
Come
when
with
you
them
can
all.
Put up a fight.
deal with number 3, which is blue and red. Sure, let's go ahead and use that. Cards, they cannot defend themselves against screen dimming cards.
Time to let loose.
So that will at the very least give us some space to maneuver in.
How's this? How's this?
That's have misjudged. Good moment to go ahead and get my stuff back up.
Never let your guard down.
We move into number 4. It's gonna double tribe that. Not yet. I have an idea though.
Double tribe. Saurian.
Time to let loose. Goodbye. You're done.
There we go. Then we move into triple.
Tribe King.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Not that we really needed it, but you know, if you're gonna show off, might as well show off in a good way. On to the final one, which is red and green.
Mega. Let's go all out. How's this?
Grass, just in case. Didn't quite get it.
Here I go.
There we go.
Goodbye.
That is, to be honest, the one problem we do have. Do you?
Drive on! Ninja!
Thank you.
Okay!
God damn it. I actually made this harder on myself.
Here I go!
Luckily for us, it is the last one.
Goodbye. We deleted him into
And I believe
next
we can do
week.
it stylishly. Hello, hello. Kind of want to say, like, also, you know about the U part, you want to do it for bad things. Taking some more screenshots. But yeah, there we go. This is the fight that I was thinking about so many times. There we go. That's the slight problem. He from now on has a permanent barrier that resets every single round. Also, just that different headshot is just chef's kiss. Yeah, welcome to Rogue EX 1200, and at the moment, best be described as relatively unkillable. So all we can really do is try and sit this one out, as in.
Here I go! Okay!
All we can really do here is yeah. There we go, there's our 3 turns. That was the one I was thinking about all this time. And just in the nick of time, we have been whisked away. And at the video, let's see if we can get an explanation going. And unfortunately, it's Sonia, you're... Look, in hindsight, it's funny how obvious it is that she's lying. But then again, Geo is 11. So he doesn't quite have the capacity yet to understand that this is a lie so obvious that Pinocchio would be jealous. And there we go, Lyra obviously understands that there's that also an adult conversation is happening in the meantime. I mean, on the one hand, yes, on the other hand, no, let's not. And why not? We have side quests! Many side quests. But the game is forcing me not to. Oh joy. The joys of the game deciding that now is not a good time. And I'm like, but I just want to finish the side quests, please. That's all I'm asking for. I mean, to be fair, it's some great flashy nonsense. What's also flashy nonsense is this particular ad break. I'm also noticing that someone has seen the "It's a Sad Day to Be Literate" post. Oh dear. In the meantime, just and enjoying the sweet sounds. Just waiting on the ad break to finally finish in an hour. There we go. Welcome back, everyone. Hey Nanaga, how are you doing today? And indeed, let's go to find some other place to hide in. Hiding day 2. or not. I think the one thing that is by far the most annoying about Starforce 2 especially is how often it just locks you out of doing anything else. Creative... Oh dear, I know that feeling. Yeah, Starforce 2 just kind of locking you out of the ability to do side quests can be really annoying. Also, seriously, did you use the... I mean, I've been better, I've been worse. Like, I've been, obviously been trying to eat healthier, which is not always the most fun. But I'm trying. I am really, really trying. But yeah, we're currently trying to focus on finishing up the second to last chapter, which will take still take a bit. And then tomorrow or Thursday, we will finish up Starforce 2's main campaign. And then we begin the long road to the post-game. But yeah. Seems this time around, we're not gonna be able to hide. And once again, the way we're doing this is during the base game, we use the cards that were given. Once the post game begins, then all bets are off. And there we go. Luna at the very least understands the obvious thing. I mean, you know, Geo is not the smartest person on the planet. That has nothing to do with... Never mind. And there we go. We're now at the Bermuda base part, which also means we can redo side quests. Hopefully, please, yes, please, please. All right, let's finally finish up that particular side quest. Because in the case of Harp Note, it's actually not too long of a chapter. But the thing is that her chapter kind of weaves into the finale. Which I do want to wait until tomorrow for at the minimum. We were looking for... That's Casanova. Not again. Okay, where is Mr. Nova? Hail Nita. No. Nobody here. Seen you. Vanguard. Not here. Oh. Maybe on top of Eiffel. Please don't tell me that we... I have a really bad feeling. That they might be somewhere else entirely. That we need to use the Skywave to access. But I am still gonna try. Doing a wrecker. Ah, I see we have found Karen. Always heckle, even if you only have one zenny. Bark, bark, bark. Even if you only lose one zenny. There we go, there's Queen of Fingia, which we will deal with in the post game. Zennies are nice and all, but it's not what we need. We already gonna need to fight some of them 3 times. But yeah, like the thing about dieting especially is that at the moment, my body is still struggling. Cat says, could it be that she's in Whazzap? I mean, to be fair, Whazzap, to be fair, is on the way. Technically, so is Loch Ness, but... AI scrounge. Right. Leroy Man. I think that... I might as well check what's up. If only because I genuinely don't know where else. That's the only new area that we've opened up. So what you will often see is that the new side quests are about areas that we have just unlocked. Especially when it becomes this vague. But it's like, oh yeah, we need to go to a new place. Where's new place? Just new place. It's 99% of the time you need to go to the place. 99% of the time you need to go to the place where that the side quest just opened up for. Anyway, let's go ahead and do this all over again. I'm not in the mood to deal with any of you. No, dankeschön. I could at the very least check Whazzap. But at the same time, I might want to wait until we're done with the Bermuda Triangle. The reason for that is that the Bermuda Triangle doesn't have any way, or you kind of need to stay in your waveform. So if you do go out, you go immediately back to Echo Ridge, which is just really nice. And I can casually ignore you. And it should probably be obvious what the next boss is going to be. But still, let's go ahead and do this. Then it was 4. Nope. Stop 4. Alright, because this is the part where we need to run past here. Thank you. There we go. Let's deal with Sonia once more. So anyway, with 1400, it's Harp Note. She has the exact same attacks she had in the first game.
Got you. Here I go.
However, it does mean that I need to be able to...
Okay.
There we go. Although in this time around she is faster.
Double tribe. Saurian.
Goodbye.
Okay, there we go. I believe that is poison.
You're done for.
But yeah, unlike the first game, each of her songs have a different effect.
Okay.
There's a counter.
Got you.
You're done for.
Luckily for us, if we are smart.
You're done for.
But yeah, there we go. It's decided, you know, sometimes it's worth it to be hit.
Take this. Go.
Let's go ahead and go for... There you go. It feels appropriate that the power of the three traps combined, but in the end helps us defeat her.
All right. That was great.
Okay, so there's also hard notes. There we go. Thank you. We'll make it easier to get the other mega cards. So yeah, now we get the story of what happened to Sonia. Of course, it turns out that Hollow never would always renege on the deal if given the chance. Yeah. Now we know what happened to her, and we have everyone. At least to some extent. Exactly. And even if you're like, well, that was a very short not being brothers, it's more about what it means for the story and for Gio's character development. And there we go, back to 440. And went up by 80. But yeah, welcome to, I guess, what you could call the dungeon. Welcome to the Bermuda maze. First things first saving. And also, we have a new card. Which is hard note. Get rid of the welcome. Morning. Ah! He looks cute. And yeah, welcome to the follow the person part of today's stream. Now, technically, there is another path we can take, which I will not be taking for now. Again, that's all post-game content. Oh. Power up reflect, which is surprisingly useful. Keep your hands on or get lost. Go up and to the left. Oh. Random jump in the dark. That's the wrong path.
I'm ready to fight.
That's on me. Hang on a second, I need to make one small change to something I wrote earlier.
Here we go. Got you.
But yeah, we are dealing with a monster house.
Come back when you can put up a fight.
Let's do this.
Which is
Got you.
not fun.
Go. Here I go.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you say beforehand.
That's what you get for underestimating me.
Into number 3.
Let's finish him off quick.
Take this.
Luckily, it's not the worst enemy in the world. At least on its own.
Got you.
There we go, okay. Let's go for that. That extinct meteor. Yeah, thank
We
you.
deleted him into next week.
It indeed was. It also means that we picked the wrong route. So he's going south. Oh dear. Luckily for us, there is somewhat of a cheat that we can use on this, which is if we know that we've made a mistake, we can always just go back before we make a fatal error.
Here we go!
Or at least before we deal with the monster house. Just go ahead. Thank you. Stealth laser, we'll take that. We have silver meteor. You must discern the true words of the airwaves and let the stars guide you down the right path. Okay, then up to the left. Okay, blue. So we need to, I believe in the rules that the ones that are telling the truth are the stars that, so in this case it's a green star, meaning that green is telling the truth. Oh. This is problematic. What's also problematic is, please give me 1 second. There we go. Nothing quite like cleaning out your clogs, so to speak. Oh, there we go. So if we just wait for a while, then the wrong ones disappear. Okay, now we know it's red. Yellow down left. Which I believe is the right. Yes. This has been sealed away. Go down and to the left. Do you have a pop blast? Sure. Acquire it. Okay, cool. We now have a shortcut. Wasn't aware that there was an option even. I'll take it though. Okay, red and blue. Yellow is a liar. Green is a liar. Okay. Hang on. With what? Yellow is a liar. Which means that yellow lies go in the direction red faces. Which I guess means we need to go here. Okay. Blue is honest. Don't go up and to the left. Red is a liar. Don't go down the left, so we go down the left. Then we have red, left, something left. Okay. And up. Okay, up on the left. Okay, now we have... Endless, I want to find the light and leave this maze. What awaits in the light ahead? I want to leave the dark maze. Wait, what? I dream of green. I want to fly out of this maze into the blue sky of freedom. Up and to the right. Thank you. Yeah, I like the fact that the Bermuda maze is just an absolute labyrinth for EM beings as well. Really adds to the creepiness of the place. Okay. That is your hint as to save, get all of our HP. The moment it's like I feel some strong waves, that's a sign. Out under the sea. Oh. And we recognize that particular logo. So yeah, they were trying to find a little continent, just hidden deep, deep beneath the sea. In the meantime, casually... Yeah, currently waiting on the ad break to end. I mean, it's the whole idea is a clickbaity title, but then again... Wait, there we go, welcome back. And yeah, it seems that we fell into that trap somewhat. And also, let's add potential child murder to the mix of what all of these villains are trying to do. As in, he quite literally admitted it to a being that can record. Now, I'm not sure if we can fight him, but in which case, say hello to Hollow 1600 and some very special panels indeed. Which I believe means that are enemy panels. And so long as that he is looking like that, or as long as he has electricity on him,
Have some of this.
he can in fact not be hurt. So just like a lot of the enemies we have fought over the course of the game, it's all about knowing when to counter. More importantly though, as you can see, we have destroyed one of his panels. If you are like, that's good, that's indeed good, because it means that the panels can be destroyed. Goddamn, got a barrier in there. Although it's only temporary. Going to go for double tribe.
Double tribe. Zerker.
And as you can see here, the enemies deliberately change so as to be our weakness. Move it to super barrier. Which is actually a problem now for him, because thanks to super barrier, now I must say
Have some of this.
the most important part is, there we go.
Tribe King.
For once we can actually use him! More importantly, there is no known cure for him. And we once again just
Blasted him
we
into
use him.
stardust.
We can't even really use his powers because of how quickly Hollow goes down. So there we go. That's Hollow all done. Only got hit once as well. I mean, technically multiple times, but only lost HP once. And there we go, time for round 2. Oh no, wait, hang on, there's only one moment in the Starforce series where you do a double fight. And this whole scene purely exists so that you can quickly heal and save and do all that kind of stuff. Like I said, this is purely existing for this moment so that we can save, we can possibly pop out if needed. So get ready for solo round 5. Definitely by far the most difficult. Like we already had a taste of it earlier. mean, to be fair, so the fun thing about the sentence is like it's been like what, a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month since Starforce 2 started. Like, change doesn't happen quickly. And there we go. Yeah, this is essentially an interesting way to connect the two bigger the themes of Starforce 1 and 2. In that we still deal with sort of like that idea of loneliness. Sort of like the gradations of loneliness and betrayal. But at the same time, it's also, although Starforce 2 doesn't really have a singular theme, it's more a variety of themes that all sort of connect together. But at the same time, it also, like, I want to say if there is an overarching theme, it's a relatively simple one of, like, you know, the corruption and power. But it's also on some level a reflection on what Geo would have turned into. Like, let's say hypothetically, Omegasis would have... There's actually two ways you can look at this whole scene and sort of like at the connection here. The first one is, what if, I don't know, someone else would have found Geo first instead of Omegasis? And what if sort of like Omegasis not only would not have been able to get Geo out of his funk, but just sort of indulged him further into it. So in that regard, Solo is sort of like the link between the themes of the first game and the themes of the second game, although the themes of the second game are a bit more jumbled. And it's also, you could argue that this is also partially indeed about sort of like both the positives and negatives of being in groups. Because if you look at Solo Story, it does make sense that if the only kinds of groups you've known are those that, you know, deliberately antagonize and attack you, then yeah, the way of thinking will become, you know, like that definitely will change, sort of like, you know, paint how you view the world. So you just gotta space out there for a moment. And Geo is pretty clearly stating here the similarities between the two. Between the two of them. He's just making lots of screenshots. Anyway, Rocky X this time around is very much attackable, 1200 HP, and definitely the most difficult fight in the base game if we ignore Lemu.
Here we go.
What I do also like, though, although I will probably not say too much, is that, because I'm focused here, or trying to focus at least, there we go. That's an early one, actually. But no, one of the reasons that that I like this particular dynamic between the two of them is because it doesn't come out of nowhere. Like, this is not the kind of dynamic that just exists for the sake of existing.
Take this.
Like, this is a dynamic that has existed essentially since the third chapter for all intents and purposes. But yeah, welcome to sword fighting. So this is happens at 50% HP. He will move down into his sword attacks. Although this amount is less difficult, but that's probably because I'm focusing on attacking and not purely defending. But this is definitely a fight that, if you aren't prepared for it, can really mess you up. And in our case, especially, we had the luck that we had a couple of attacks that... I'll fully admit that in this fight I got lucky. We had a couple of attacks that just quickly moved into each other, meaning that we could very quickly lower his HP to way below the threshold where the sword normally hits. Once the sword hits, it becomes a lot more of a difficult fight. And we obviously also had the luck that we very early on locked into Tribe King, but that is part of the game. But yeah, as a child, I definitely had to fight this, had to redo this fight many times. It's definitely by far the most difficult fight, purely from a mechanical perspective. It's the main thing, I think, in regards to dealing with him is once the multiple fists start happening, when he's on the back row, is to then, like, try and paralyze him as quickly as possible. Because those fists hit hard and they can hit you multiple times. Also, damn it, hide. Also, if Hyde lives to survive this, it's also the reason that he's on the run in Starforce 3, I should mention. Is it's not necessarily a spoiler too much, like the villains always lose, but the reason Hyde is on the run, even though it's never mentioned, is because he's the only person, with one exception, that, you know, actively can be persecuted. And he has lots of crimes to yeah. He's done lots of criming. Also, don't pretend as if you actually succeeded. You came in after all the fighting had ended and only then stole it. Like, But yeah. It's also interesting that in the end, despite the fact that she found the relics and assuming you did some serious research, she never did quite learn probably the most important lesson, which is that it was destroyed for a reason. Also, what's the idea with everyone putting Neo in front of everything? That was like a thing back in the 2000s. And yeah, the final act shall be done next stream. One moment. I had to quickly write something real fast. And that, for all intents and purposes, is this particular chapter over and done with. So we will wait until Also, how did you explain this to your mom, Gio? Oh dear. I must say, I was expecting the stream to go on longer, to be honest. I had fully expected 5 hours, but I had forgotten that Starforce 2's back end is a lot quicker than its front end. At least quicker in the sense that the chapters go by quicker. We're gonna be looking at the TV next time around, because we're also... So next time, we are gonna go ahead and finish up the Starforce 2 post-game base game. If you're wondering, why aren't you doing that now? There is at a minimum one person that I want to be here for that moment. And then after we're done with that, we will immediately jump into the post-game content, which will at a minimum be 3 streams. Like, I can already guarantee you this much. It will be a while. It will be quite a few streams before we actually finish up the Starforce 2 post-game. So we have lots of stuff to look forward to, either Wednesday or Thursday. In that case, the streams will in fact probably be around 5 hours, I want to say, give or take 4 or 5 hours. Kind of depends on how quickly we are done with stuff. So I thank you all for joining me for tonight. And yeah, next time around, finishing up the base game of Starforce 2 and starting the post game. Have a very good evening.